Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I need to build some backgrounds. I am completely out, can you believe it? I have been very busy. So I got this music sheet at Dick Blick, and it comes in this huge sheet of paper. So I cut it down a little into different sizes, and I'm going to put some book pages on it in different places, and just build backgrounds to use for journaling cards and so forth. I'm seeing people now are making journaling cards out of book pages. They're not doing it the way I've been doing it for years. They're doing it differently. But it's so easy to do and so cheap. So what I'm going to do is sporadically put some book pages down. I'm not going to cover up all of the music paper because I want to keep some of it showing through, but I'm not crazy about this part up here. So that part, I probably will cover most of it. And I didn't cut my edges off this time because it's just going to be used for covering up stuff anyway, and there'll probably be more stuff put on this. But you can take the edges off if you don't like that much white, which I have done most of the time. And if I am gluing, I always glue 3 to 4 together to make a one journal card. I do take all of this white off of it for that. And I like this rough edge too, so I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I like the rough edge. I'm not really concerned about it being totally even. It's just tear and glue, and it's really, really relaxing. You will not believe. You know, think about, you get a bill in the mail after you've already paid it. How satisfied you feel tearing that bill up. Well, it's kind of basically the same thing with tearing up old book pages and gluing them down and making something out of it you can reuse. So what do you think? Is that enough book pages, or should we cover more? This is like a big splotch right here that needs something in it. So I'm going to put a little bit here. And then I have, well, these are fabrics, so I'm not going to use those on this one. But I have some tissue paper behind it. I'm going to use some of this tissue paper and try to get mostly the birds because I intend to use birds cut out of this book on this one. Working on my nature themed stuff because that's where my heart is. What I enjoy working on the most is nature themed. I have the worst time trying to keep from having any wrinkles in this. It never works. Never works. I need to slow down because I'm going too fast and it's going to mess me up. See, there's my wrinkles. Let's see, do I want floral or do I want another bird? See how that looks. Do I have another bird cut out? I do. I want another bird. I want this one with the writing on it. Oh, come on, Kathy. You didn't do that. Yes, you did. This is next to the last one of these glue sticks. I won't buy them again. I have a terrible time with these sticks. They're big, they're heavy, and it takes a lot to get it to stick permanently. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do? I want this one. Oh, for Pete's sake. See, I can pretend I'm going to have spring, even though I'm not getting spring ever. Florida has 2 seasons, summer and a few days of winter, maybe in January, sometimes January and February, but never continuous. Yeah, there's not much of the music showing through, is there? But there's music notes on this, so. And I want to use up this paper because I'm tired of it. At this point now, we're almost start sticking in Happy Mail, so hey, if you get Happy Mail, it's got this paper in it. You know, it's because I am tired of it. Oh. I'm looking for some more decorative tissue paper. And I looked on Amazon today, and I am sorry, but I am not paying those prices. And I don't want to get these same ones that I always get, or the Tim Holtz ones that I always use. I want something totally different now. Okay. I think that'll work. Now, let me put my lid back on this. And I do have some music paper here. I'll add some music paper. And the reason for the layering so much on there is to make it thicker, even though I will eventually back it on cardstock, most likely, depending on what I'm going to use it for. I couldn't believe it. I went to pull my file today for my backgrounds, and all I had was my originals. I didn't have any of the copies left. And the more I looked at it, the more I realized I was tired of using them. So I'm going to make some different ones. And it's okay if it sticks off the ends, because that part's not going to copy anyway. Okay, now, what I want to do is take some cream-colored paint, if I still have any. Well, I've got this brown. I can lighten this up. Just put a little bit of this in it. Well, ended up getting a whole lot of that in there, didn't I? I bet I'm the only person in the world that cannot screw a cap back on with their left hand. It might help I use the right cap, huh? Okay, I'll put some white in that. Ate a lot of weight in that because I poured too much of the brown. I have a big brush. Just mix it all up real well. I'll get my handy dandy little spray bottle here. And that right there is probably all I'm going to need for all that paint that I mixed up. Well, live and learn. Take some of this whiteness out of here. And that's another thing too. If you don't have any books that have the vintage look to the papers, get some classic caramel and white and mix them together. Or you could go with tan or vanilla and just water it down really good and just brush it over it. It takes all the white right out of it. And if brown is all you have, just put a dot of brown and a whole lot of white and water it down. You can use yellow, but I find that yellow just doesn't really lose its color very well. And it's going to come across with a yellow tint to it. And I kind of like the coffee look. Okay, so there's one. And I'm going to let this dry. And bring over another sheet of it. There's one that I cut in half. Maybe I don't have any more I cut in half. So let's just tear it. I don't remember what size this was. I want to say it was like a 16 by 20, but it was probably bigger. Now, I don't know if you can get it now order. I'm lucky I happen to have a Dick Blick store here in town. Okay, let me fight this glue stick again. And do this one completely different. rid of that black on the top. Let's see. Gonna take the weight off of this paper. There you go. A little bit more on here. You don't have to cover every single spot because it's going to be covered up mostly. So let's see. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of design on here. I hope this works because my daubers are in the RV. And no, I don't always clean my stencils. Don't yell at me. I know I should, but I don't always. Especially if I'm using paint. It is hard to get some of that paint off. But the stencil still works, so it's okay. I'm not that OCD yet. Yeah, used to it would drive me nuts, but now I make so much mess when I'm crafting that you can't be OCD. Okay. I want to put some yellow throughout it. Some bigger ones. Okay. And let's see. We'll do the yellow. More leaves. Okay. And now to bring out the watercolors. What shade I want. thin paintbrush. I'm just going to do a little line all the way up the page. And you don't have to worry about these being perfectly symmetrical or anything because it's going to be cut up in different sections. So you may not even get the whole piece. To me, this is relaxing. Just pivoting around, making different backgrounds. And playing with glue and paint. And it's just easier for me to do the leaf, but if you are new and you're just starting, come up in a half circle to a point and stop. And then go back down and come up in a half circle to the point and stop. And that's all there is to making a leaf. When it's dry, you can come back with a darker color and put a line down the center. You put little spikes off the sides of it. You don't have to. I always do. I just like it the way it looks. I have to keep my hand out of the paint. And too, the more water you put on your paint, you can change the actual colors that you're working with, because the more water you put in it, the lighter it goes. I just like the way the words show through. Now, I was just sitting here thinking a few minutes ago, what else was I going to put on here? And guess what? It's completely left my mind. So now we'll set this aside to dry. Move the paint before I knock it over. Seriously? Where did I put them? No, I didn't move them. Okay, be right with you. Okay, since I want to use up this glue stick, I'm going to finish up this stack of book pages I have out too. And I'm just coming right at the edge of the writing, because I will cut off this white once this dries. And like I said, this glue stick is not easy to work with. You have to really get a lot on there. So that's 2. Three. I normally do 4, but it really depends on the book you're using. I believe it's a Reader's Digest, so it's going to take 4. And 4. Now I really want that to dry and set, and then I will cut off all the white, and this will be the front because it doesn't have a chapter break in it. I'll cut off all of this, and I will round the corners, and it will be decorated for a journal card. Usually I sketch on them or paint or stamp on them, and since it's going to be botanical, I believe that's what I'll do this time as well. So here you have it, 4 pages glued together. Don't use big glue sticks I have. You really do not. I don't like them. You got a journaling card. Didn't cost you anything but an old book. You can do them in all different sizes. I have these Japanese pages left over from another project I'm going to make some journaling cards out of. And then you can just, well, I'll do one on a different page that I'm not using. Come in, decorate it any way you want to. And yeah, I did put the top back on like it was pink. You have a nice design on your journaling card. If you don't have stencils, you can draw on them. You can cut pictures out of magazines and put on them. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a nice looking journal. And nowadays, I'm finding more and more people who buy from me at the commission sales and Saturday markets and the gift shops that my journals are in. They would prefer to have a blank journal and separate ephemera. If they want the ephemera, they'll add it in. 9 times out of 10, they give it to their kids. But hey, they're paying for it. I don't care what they do with it. They want just the blank pages. I'm now introducing the creative journals to some of the regulars, and they're falling in love with them, so that's going to be a lot more work. But it's worth it. Okay, guys. I hope this helped you some, and I'm going to be taking a bunch of scraps with me back to the RV and making me a bunch of underpants. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.